Welcome to Spiritual Geography. I'm Joni Miller. We're all trying to find our way through life with the best information we have at any point in time. We're often seeking transcendent qualities like love or fulfillment or peace or joy. These desires seem to come from the very core of our being, as if our soul cries out for them. I created Spiritual Geography to help people explore that soul longing. My mission is to foster exploration of personal beliefs, knowing that others will see the divine differently than I do and differently from each other. Spiritual geography presumes we each have an internal connection to something far greater than we are, by whatever name you choose to call that something greater. Some say God, others say infinite intelligence, divine mystery, or spirit, source, or the universe. But by whatever name, our understanding of this greater transcendence is always incomplete, since there is far more to know than any one human is capable of understanding, or every human put together is capable of understanding. So by acknowledging that we don't have the complete picture and never can have the complete picture, maybe we will be more patient, more accepting, and more generous with those who see things differently than we do. We will never understand all there is to know about that which is infinite, but the path of exploration is fascinating. As I start this podcast, I want to tell you a little bit about me and how I got to where I am now along my spiritual path. Maybe you've wandered from a straightforward path too, led by motivations that were difficult to explain to other people. For me, one such motivation happened in 2009, when I walked out of my church one Sunday morning and never went back. I hadn't intended for this to be the last time. I just could no longer find a reason to go. But I probably need to begin long before I walked out that church door in 2009. The story probably starts 7 years earlier on another Sunday, a day that began the disconnect between my public expression of faith and my internal spirituality. That Sunday in 2002 started like many others, with me going to worship and then coming home, just an ordinary day. Then my sister-in-law called, telling me that my brother had died, suddenly, unexpectedly. And as I raced to their house, I couldn't make sense of what was happening. Sudden deaths are a surreal experience. The sun was still shining, the sky was a brilliant blue, and yet I was supposed to accept that my brother was forever gone from my life. My sister-in-law hadn't been able to reach the rest of my family, so the task of telling my parents and my sisters fell to me. My father's soft voice, as he tried to make sense of what I was saying, has been seared into my memory. Now, after these calls, I plopped down on their living room floor, exhausted, not thinking and barely even feeling. I was completely numb. Then the second life-changing event of the day happened. I heard my deceased grandmother calling my brother's name in the unique way that she had. But it wasn't just the voice I heard. There was a feeling of joy and deep, unconditional love that let me know something incredible was happening. These feelings were so intense and quite unlike anything I'd experienced before. In the space of a few hours, my life had completely changed. My brother was gone, yet I witnessed the reunion of grandmother and beloved grandson. So he was not gone, somehow still here and merely out of visible awareness. I didn't quite know how to process this. Then 2 days later, my brother was somehow in my bedroom at 5 a.m. asking me to take care of his family. And then he kept visiting me. And then I heard other voices too, as if my dead relatives all said, "She can hear us," and started to speak to me. I didn't know what to make out of all of these things that were happening, and I was actively grieving. But I approached these new experiences the way I did most things in my life, through curiosity and research. But as I was doing so, my private understanding and expression of spirituality diverged more and more from my public persona. My public expression of spirituality was the same. I was still going to worship every week, was still involved in the leadership of my church and in the music program, but my private beliefs were more jumbled up. I replaced my Bible study books and daily devotionals with books written by mediums and books about developing spiritual gifts. Mostly, I kept what I was doing secret. I quickly learned who was safe for me to talk to and who wasn't. A friend who experienced vivid dreams about loved ones was safe. Another friend who thought I was cavorting with demons was not safe. My life continued to change in unexpected and surprising ways. I went to a medium for the first time in 2003, experienced another sudden death in the family in 2005. I left my business career in 2006 and returned to school to get a master's and Ph.D. in pastoral counseling, which just means that I was trained as a counselor, but received additional training and education in religion and spirituality. Then came that Sunday in the spring of 2009, when I walked out of my church for the last time. Once I accepted that I wasn't going back to church, I felt free from expectations and constraints, free from the things I thought I should be doing. I started going to yoga on Sunday mornings instead, and I was redefining who I was and how I expressed my spirituality. I was deepening my connection to the divine because I was finding that divinity everywhere. In people I met, in religions I studied, and in practices I explored. There's more to this story, and more about what I've learned from working with many people, listening to their spiritual stories, their spiritual journeys, all unique, all different. But for now, the important thing to know is that I've spent the past 20 odd years coming into alignment with the type of spirituality that fits me uniquely. It's kind of a mishmash, but I'm comfortable with the variety of practices and beliefs that form my spiritual life, which still includes Christianity. And I believe that everyone has a unique path that is worth exploring. When you find that unique path that works for you, that fits you like a glove, it deepens your spirituality. My goal through spiritual geography is to help you navigate the vast territory of spirituality so that you can find a unique path that resonates with your soul. In every episode, I'll talk about spirituality in ways that may seem familiar to you or may seem very alien. But regardless whether you resonate with what I'm describing or not, I hope you will gain new insights and understandings, and through that, deeper connections to others and deeper connections to the divine. We don't understand the mysteries of the universe, but we can grow more love. Love for ourselves, love for others, and love for the infinite mystery that lays beyond our understanding. Thank you for tuning in.